Alright, g'day, Angus Barrett. I'm back at this social media thing again. I'm feeling really social now, I can just feel it. Anyway, we're into it today, and today I'm actually going to talk to you about some product. I've been told to keep it quick. It's a strong point of mine, I'm working on it. Anyway, I think maybe a few people have knocked off or gone a little bit further west for a while the coronavirus settles down. And in that time, no better time to run a few young horses in or bring your horses in. So I'm going to go through my a bit of my handling gear that we make here as quick as I can. Don't need to be quick, do we? We've got a bit of time to kill, so it'll be alright. Anyway, of course, the rope holder. We make all these in-house. This is made of 8mm double braid polyester yachting rope. It's got a lovely core inside, it's very strong. There's a special way to do the knot, which is you put it under the loop, so you can always undo it under the loop. I'll do that again. For anyone who might on this might not know, go through the loop, pull it up around your pony's ears, go around, and then back through there, and that way you can always undo it. Okay, don't tie it around the top, that's how it jams if your horse pulls back. Okay, this stuff's made to tie your horse up. I tie all my horses up, meaning I don't tie them to a bit of baling twine or I don't tie them to anything else to break. If I tie a horse up, I'm tying the horse up. The horse is there when I come back. They don't break these holders. You've more chance of pulling your horse's head off than breaking the holder. And we don't really want that to happen, but we don't want the horse to go anywhere either. And then we have the lead. I've got 4 different lead ropes. And the lead rope I've picked today because I'm picturing if your horses are anything like mine, they've been running around the paddock for a while, they're a bit fresh. So I've picked a 16mm thick, long lead rope, and I like the long one, I like the thick one for a horse that I've got to handle a bit or I might want to grab onto or jerk around a little, just because it gives me a little bit more meat in my hand. It doesn't slip through my hand as easily, if need be. And I like a long lead because I might want to just flick a horse up or push him up a little bit with the lead rope if I need to. Or if I've got a good set of wooden yards or a big post, I can do nice, I've got plenty of rope to do a decent knot with. I also have different thicknesses and different lengths, 2 different lengths. So we have 2 thicknesses and 2 lengths. You have the 14mm and the 16mm. I have the 14mm, which is just a lovely, nice, easy, light lead rope. And it's great for all your horses that are in work, that are really easy to handle, and you don't have any issue with them. You can just nice light little lead, and you can tie it up. So the short one's good for floating and just having around the stables, and then the long one's good for a younger horse, but one that you're handling all the time, or a younger horse that's a bit lighter. And then I go up in thicker leads for the bigger the horse and the bigger the problem. So I've got not for strength because the rope won't break, just a bit more meat to hang on to. And then when you have the halter, I don't put clips on our leads. We do sell clips for people who like them. I don't use them. I don't like the clip. I think it's a bit heavy, but a lot of people, some people like the weight. I don't like the weight. So that's the clip, and you can loop the clip. Pardon me. You can loop the clip onto your lead. So the lead rope, all the lead ropes are made with this little loop in there. I hope you can see that. Anyway, it's got a loop in the end of it. And we take the core out of it so that when it folds back on itself, it sits nice and flush. You can loop it onto the clip. I'm not going to do that because I don't like those clips much. I mean, they have a purpose. If you want to get your lead rope off, I don't leave any halters on. I take all my halters off, and then I have you slide it over the end of the little knot in the end, and the knot's called the Theodore knot. So if anyone wants to make their own halters, hook in, jump into that Theodore knot, it's a beauty. And then I fold it back in here, make that twist, neaten it up, and that all sits nice. Hopefully you can see that there, it's just nice and flush. It's actually not. It is now. So now I've got my holder, my rope holder, and my 16mm lead. My holders are made to sit, they're a little bit short in here. I'll make them short in here so they sit in front of the jowl, not behind it. Right, so if your horse does lay back, I don't like how a lot of them get underneath the jowl there. I think that's the jowl. I like them to put the pressure behind their ears on their pole or on their nose, which is here. I do make a halter that does go under the jowl, and that's made out of a different rope. It's made out of my, this is my standard horse holder, 8mm. My little handling, what I call my handling holder, it's made out of 6mm. And it's got 2 extra knots on right on the nose there, just on either side of that little breather there. And why I call it my handling holder, and this is probably for older horses, not younger horses. So something that should know. It should have a few more manners, like maybe a stallion that might want to give you a bit of grief, or old gelding that's playing up, or something that's half good. Though, you know, the better the horse usually, the more grief sometimes. So it's got a little bit more bite behind the ears. It's got the 2 knots on the nose, and it does sit behind the jowls, and so it's longer in there. Not in this one in here. The reason it's a little bit longer is because I want it to sit behind the jowl, so that say you've got an older, more mature horse and it knows what it wants to do, and it decides to put a bit of pressure on this lead rope or doesn't want to play the game. I'm capturing the whole head, okay, and we do that with that halter there. So that's 2 holders. While we're going on holders, I also have one more holder. This is my handling holder. Let me throw these up here. This is my handling holder. This is pretty cool. This is made out of some high tenacity polypropylene webbing that's made for me by an Australian company. It's very firm, as you can see. It's quite rigid. It's sewn very tightly. We use very heavy thread. It's got a wear pad, not a wear pad, it is a wear pad, but it's not a wear pad. An extra piece of leather just on the pole there, goes over the pole of your horse. And that piece of leather there, it's soft, it's about sort of 4mm thick. And over the top of it, I've got the webbing, which is made for me. And then over the top of that, I've got a heavy chrome harness leather. And then the heavy chrome harness leather is stitched around the eyes, and then the holes, and the holes are burnt. Okay? So, the moral of the story is you don't put holes in webbing, right? So, I put the holes in the leather, and the strength is on the leather. But then what I do is I sew the leather to the webbing, so that the webbing is holding the leather together as well. So they're all encouraging each other not to break. And then I use a bit bigger buckle here, right? One so it's loose fitting, okay? One so it's a bit loose fitting, easy to get on and off, but also it's got a thicker pin. Now these will bend. The bigger the horse, they'll bend them, and the bigger the horse will break it. And the smaller the horse, bigger the attitude, whichever one it is that breaks it. They can break, the horses break everything. They are capable of breaking everything. I make it as tough as I can. If it tears all the holes out, it's a replacement part, you know, it's kind of like getting a flat tyre, you just get a new tyre and keep on going. The rest of the show's fine. These rings is all made out of stainless steel. It's sewn super strong, like 415 threads, very heavy duty. The nose is adjustable. Now what I do with the nose on this one is I put adjustment on each side so that I can put the centre pull always in the centre under the chin. You've got 3 holes on each side. So you can sort of do about 25mm apart, so you can take an inch out each side at 25mm. And the pole, each hole is the same, about 25mm apart. You can move them out. We've got keepers there so that they can stay in. They're made out of good hard chrome harness leather again. We put a stainless steel D at the bottom, and that's where that lead rope would attach. I don't leave holders on. This is a tie-up holder. I've designed this for teaching young horses to tie up before we go to a rope holder. Right, so I want to teach a young horse. Now I have another one too, which is also good for young horses. That's my necktie. This is a webbing necktie. These are a bloody good thing to have. Every tack room should have one. They're $60, alright? You can tie this, you can put this on. If you don't want to buy a tie-up holder, the tie-up holder is I don't know, they're $200 and something, there's no price tag on it. I think they're 200 and something, they might not be. More, oh well they're more than 200 and something. So I've been told by the person behind the camera. Anyway, I'll show you how this necktie, I run this necktie with the holder. So say you've got all your gear, your holder and everything at home, and you don't want a new holder, you don't need anything like that, but you want to bring in this young horse and you want to tie him up for the first time, take your holder, put it on there, run this necktie over the back. Right. Now you can either use 2 lead ropes here. It's better for me if you use like 4 or 5, but if you just want to use 1 you can, but if you want to use 2 you can. I use 2 and I put a D shackle on this. I have tied a horse up, a stallion up with the lead rope tied to there and fed through there, and then when I went to the bucket to get a drink, this just fell off. Okay, but I don't do that now. So I use this as a necktie. Right now in this conversation I'm talking about using this necktie to tie up a young horse. So I put a D shackle on the end of my lead rope, on the end of another lead rope, and I have it on here, right? So you can undo it, put it on, put it around the pole, and then I will tie it to the same post as my holder. This is, I'm tying up a young horse for the first time, right? Now, I've got that lead rope tied just a fraction shorter than my holder one. So the pressure is going to go on this lead rope first, but when they really lay back, they're going to feel the holder, and then they should step forward, especially if I'm standing there beside them and give them 4 minutes, you know. They might just come forward a bit there for me. If I want to use this holder and this lead rope and this necktie, that's fine. You just run that lead rope, you just combine it and tie it up to here, so that sits up a little bit more. It's not that, it's more like that. You connect the 2 here using the 1 lead rope, so that once again the pressure's going on the necktie. And the idea of this is the necktie still sits up behind the ears, but I'm not putting the pressure of 2 bits of rope. If you ever want to know what that feels like, just take the hat off this. Just put it around your head and you can feel pretty quickly what that feels like, and it's not very nice, and a horse should respond to it quite well. And then if you go and do it with a 6mm, it's even more uncomfortable or less nice. So there's my holders, 4 holders. Oh, no, we've got more. I've got a leather necktie. This is cool. This I really like. This is adjustable. This is made for staying on. You put a lead rope, but not staying on and turning the horse out, staying on. Staying on is in like for the night, which you can use any of this stuff, but if you're at a draft or if you're at an event or if you just want to tie a horse up for the night, say you're in the snowy mountains getting away from the coronavirus for the weekend, you might use this. And this is adjustable. And it's always made so the buckle always sits to the near side and not on top. You'll never get that buckle behind your ears, right? Because the centre pull, the way I've designed it, even on that small, so that's like a yearling, that's a baby, right? So you can, if you do all this when they're babies, you don't even have to feel the holder too much, right? But it's adjustable, and it's got a pull there. It's this heavy duty chrome that we have made for us, chrome leather, that's what I'm talking about. It's stitched around the holes. This one isn't lined with seat belt. Some of them, if I want to make them stronger, I can line them with seat belt, which I have done in the past. I've got some pretty funky stitching with some pretty heavy thread, very heavy thread, sewing around there, making it strong. The leather is good. The buckle is a custom made buckle. These are made in Orange, right? By a mate of mine who makes these for me. So they're cut off there. The solid rollers slid on. So they're all stainless steel. We've got a solid roller on them, and then we also have a 7mm pin. Okay, so we've got a 7mm pin there, very solid. That's so that the pin doesn't bend and break. The reason that that happens is it's kind of like the old back girth rule. You can't get it undone easily or quickly. So that's my adjustable leather necktie. That's neckties. I mean, this is just the handling rack. I've just done the head. I've got collar straps. They're really cool. I love to talk about them. I've got hobbles. I've got quick release hobbles. I've got adjustable sidelines. Once again, everything we sell is made here in Orange by me. I don't know if people realise it, but I actually make this stuff. I've heard a lot of people say that I don't know what they think I do, but that's where I hang out in the workshop. I do leather work, and this is my stuff. I'm Angus Barrett. Stay cool, stay safe.